Mel Robbins was on Real Time with Bill Maher last week. And, she sat there in her black eyeglass frames, looking she's half like art teacher, half like, the cool therapist in town. And she's really just totally full of shit. And it was amazing because Bill Maher started off by saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did my show. Everybody wants Mel Robbins on their show. And you came on my show and I can't believe it." And I kind of wonder if Bill is trying to clean up his house a little bit with all those skeezy, sleazy interviews he does with women on Club Random. Barbara Eden, number one. And again, we're going to be addressing it on the Nerve Awards in a few weeks, not to worry. So I kind of, because Bill pretty quickly caught, even Bill was like, "I can't fucking do this. I can't pretend that this woman is actually smart," or this theory that she's been hawking called the Let Them theory, which is this blockbuster book that, the whole premise of her theory is just people are going to do what they want to do to you. So let them. Which, again, you could go back to the original Nerve we did where I sort of took that entire theory and burnt it to the ground. Metaphorically, I'm nowhere near the arsonist that Ryan Reynolds is. But, we're a baby show. Anyway, so let's begin. Let's begin with Bill, a few minutes into this interview, pushing back a bit on the Let Them theory being applicable to just about everything in one's life. Here we go.
But not everything is a Let Them case, right?
Everything is.
If you're being sexually harassed at the office, that's not
Yep.
that's a let them?
Okay, well, here's what it is.
Let them do it?
Well, no, because they've already done it. So when you say let them, you're not allowing it. You're forcing yourself to recognize the situation you're in.
Oh, okay. So let them, as Bill astutely points out, and it's not that big of an intellectual leap, you're just supposed to let anybody do anything they want to you, whether it's sexually harassing you or assaulting you, mugging you, betraying you, spreading lies about you. You're just supposed to let people do something. Now, Mel realizes that she's been backed into a corner. Of course that doesn't work. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So then Mel says, no, actually what let them now means is that it allows you, something catastrophic such as that would allow you to stop gaslighting yourself. But who says anybody's gaslighting themselves? She's not very bright. Okay. Now, Mel is going to tell us how to deal if and when, God forbid, and again, she's in the lion's den with Bill Maher, with William Maher, what you should do if you're getting sexually harassed. Here we go.
And that you're not going to change what's happening by trying to change them. You have to take the power and go, okay, well, let me recognize this is a situation I'm in. Let me stop gaslighting myself and making excuses and sticking around and beating myself up, and let me remind myself that
She's struggling.
get to choose what I do next. Am I going to HR?
No shit.
Am I leaving this job? Am I hiring an attorney? All of the energy that you're spending complaining about it, worrying about it, beating yourself up, telling yourself there's nothing you can do, there's always something you can do.
Okay, so that is the exact opposite of let them. And trust me, I read that book. It was painful. It was a quick read and it was painful. And her premise is, listen, you can't change other people. You can't change what they're going to do. So you just kind of got to let them. You just got to kind of surf that wave all the way into shore. And then when Bill has pushed back on her, she's really scrambling. She's like, well, no, I mean, then what you do is what it allows you to do is well, you don't you got to stop gaslighting yourself. And then you say to yourself, what are you going to do? But it frees you from worrying about it and thinking about what you're going to do. But if you're going to sue somebody or go to HR or bring criminal charges, you're obviously worrying and thinking about it. And it would be normal to worry and think about going up against your boss who perhaps has sexually harassed you. Now, I don't understand how she can legitimately sit here and peddle her bullshit to people like this. Okay. Oh, now there's always something you can do. So now we're active. We're active agents in our own life, and we're going to figure out if we're going to stay. What the fuck is she talking about? Really? Okay, Bill, now says that based on this current answer that she has given him, that her book and her theory sound more like stop them, like actually do something. Let's see what Mel has to say to this.
But that would be more like stop them.
Yes.
Than let them.
Well,
sometimes let them has to be stop them, no?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
In situations where it's dangerous or discriminatory or somebody's getting hurt, of course you step in and stop them if that's your values.
If that's your values, if somebody aggresses you to the point where they've violated you, if those are your values, then you should, there are some empirical truths in life, okay? And when people violate you, the only empirical truth is make them suffer for it, whether you're pressing criminal charges or you're doing a lawsuit, whatever it is. Like, you're not going to just sit there and take it. But again, that runs counter to Mel Robbins's entire things. Now, Bill, you can tell he's getting annoyed with her. You can tell, and I'll tell you why. Because he and his team, unlike a lot of other recidivists in the culture, actually do their homework. And, we're going to get to this on the mini on Saturday, because there's another person who thinks they know everything and doesn't do the homework. Bill at least does the reading, or his team does the reading. And he starts by mentioning, well, Mel, like, it's amazing you even got here to this point in your life. You know why? Because you were in a ton of debt. Like, Mel Robbins, if I recall correctly, I mean, she was in debt to the astronomical fee, again, just my recollection, of like $800,000. How somebody in America gets into $800,000 worth of debt is beyond me. She had many, many failed businesses and ideas before she hit on this bullshit let them thing, which I believe she swiped from somebody else. Okay. And her husband, like, I think they almost got divorced at one point. And she also was a big day drinker. So this is when these are the times I do appreciate Bill Maher. That little imp in him comes out and like starts shivving people. Take a look and watch as Mel tries to deflect this, because you could tell Bill has really hit a nerve. Here we go.
Well, your life was the hard way. You came from places that most people haven't been. Deep in debt, drinking,
yes.
Day drinking.
Well, wasn't that what you were doing today?
Not drinking. And I don't. People think I smoke before the show. I don't smoke right before the show.
I was gonna say,
no, Bill masturbates right before the show. Let's get it straight, okay? Now, let's listen to Mel. Again, she got out of this debt. How she got out of it, I know not, but I'm telling you, her empire is built on like a house of cards. This is not a bright woman. She's not smart. She's a hustler. She's clever enough to have taken a bunch of money from a bunch of people who, are vulnerable, I would say, vulnerable, and are looking for, simple answers to navigate life, which is just a difficult thing to navigate. It's built in. It's a feature, not a bug. Okay. So let's listen to Mel tell us about how, this is one of my favorite things that self-help people do. It's one of my favorite fucking things. See if you can catch it. Okay. How to take responsibility for your own life.
you're not a victim here. You're in control of what you do in response. And if you look at this is how you take responsibility for your life. This is how you change things for the better. And responsibility, Bill, is the ability to respond. That's what that word means.
That is not what that word means. Okay. But that's the thing that these people do. These charlatans, they'll like take a word, excuse me, again, so worked up, hit the microphone. They take a word and they break it apart. And then they're like response and ability. And so what responsibility means, Mel says, literally, responsibility means that you have the ability to respond. That is not what the word responsibility means, Mel. But would we expect her to really know what it means? Because I don't think she's a very responsible person. I think the only thing that really motivates this woman is hustling people for everything she can get. That she has like one of the top rated podcasts, like the Mind Reels, truly. Okay. Now, Bill kind of gets her into this. I think this was one of the most interesting parts of the exchange, because we get a glimpse at how like completely uninformed, just completely uninformed. I'm not taking advice from people who are this ill-informed. I'm sorry. Here's Mel. She's having trouble letting a certain United States president do something. She's having trouble with her own let them theory. Here we go.
Every year at Thanksgiving, I have to do basically the same theme, which is telling people, don't cut off your family.
No.
It's just terrible. And I said this a few months ago, we did an editorial here on the show where I talked about Trump and the fact that there are things that really still I am very adamant about and I will never stop talking about. There are other things where it's like in meditation where they say, just let the cloud pass. Like I see so many people who are upset about him building a ballroom. I could give a fuck. I don't give a shit about his
because
fucking
we're paying
ball.
for it.
But Mel, I thought you're just supposed to let them. First of all, Trump is in the White House, whether you voted for him or not. We are where we are, and he's building a ballroom. And if Mel was truly an adherent to the advice that she pushes for kicks and for profit, she would be like, you know what, let him. I'm on the earth for the blink of an eye. And the White House is always undergoing renovations, and there's nothing I can do about it. And it really doesn't directly impact my life, except she says with full conviction, oh, you know why I give a fuck about it? Because we're paying for it. No, we are not. Here we go.
Whether you voted for it or not.
No, we're not paying for it. It's private. First of all, even if we did.
It's already bulldozed, so anytime you spend burning up about it, it's already happened.
Oh, okay. So now Mel tried to just completely contradict the outburst she just had where she said, I give a real fuck about it. We're paying for it. I don't like it. She didn't say I don't like it, but that was in there. It was baked into the answer. And then Bill's like, well, no, we're not. It's being privately funded. And then she's like, oh, well, then, you can't burn up about it because you can't do anything about it. Like, this woman is all over the place. Bill, again, I think he's trying to do his penance here because, listen, there's one thing Bill really has true contempt for, and that's stupidity. And when he's got people on his panel who you can tell he thinks are dim fucking bulbs, he can barely hide it. My favorite thing he does, which is, he doesn't even try to hide it. This woman's a fucking moron, and he's trying to help her out still. Here we go.
But I still do think you have to choose your battles. You have to pick what you get upset.
Yes. So if this were the dining room table and you're saying something that pisses me off, right?
Right.
And I'm not suggesting that pisses me off, but you're at a dining room table with your family. You get to choose how much energy that opinion takes up here. You get to choose whether or not you allow it to burn you up inside. You get to choose whether or not you're going to engage. And so what I love about Let Them and Let Me is all day long you have this slice and dice that you can do where you force yourself and allow yourself to recognize what's in your control and what's not. And when it comes to opinions and families, I agree with you. The thing that's separating us is our inability to sit with each other and allow each other the dignity of their own experience and opinion, even if it offends us. Instead of leaning away, we have to learn how to sit with our upsetness and lean toward each other.
Yeah.
My inner grammarian, there's no such word as upsetness, Mel. It's upset. Okay, this is a #1 New York Times bestselling author. I weep. Then she says, okay, really, brace yourselves for this. The thing that is separating us is our inability to sit together. That's what's called a tautology. I would defy Mel Robbins to spell the word tautology, but it's, when the thing that you say is actually the thing that you say. Yeah, people are separated because they won't sit down together. You got to be fucking kidding me. If you have ever read the label on a typical chip bag, you have seen a veritable science experiment loaded with seed oils, MSG, dyes, and vague, quote, natural flavors. But Vandy Crisps are part of the growing movement to bring back real food. And these crisps are made of just 3 ingredients: 100% pesticide-free potatoes, sea salt, and grass-fed beef tallow. No junk. They taste amazing. They leave you feeling light, energized, and satisfied. No crash, no bloat, or mindless binging to follow. And if you love Vandy, you will love Masa Chips, Vandy's sister brand. Their 3-ingredient tortilla chips are the best I have ever had. My go-to flavor is the original, but the white, the blue, the lime, the cobanero, the churro, they are all delicious. If you are ready to give Vandy or Masa a try, use code Maureen for 25% off your first order at vandycrisps.com or masachips.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. And if you like shopping in person, Vandy and Masa are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. So stop by and pick up a couple of bags before they are gone.